not having the chef come in. It's incredible pressure. Now this guy's here. What do you do?
Yep.
And you can't fold. Folding is not an option.
Right.
Mr. Austin, welcome to another episode of JBL Bites podcast, where we unveil the curtains on the shit owners don't want to say out loud and what's needed to survive in this business.
It's a lot.
Yeah, once I figure it out, that'd be great.
Right.
I had no fucking clue what I'm
Psychic
talking
powers.
about. I'm just fucking duping everybody on this fucking podcast. The other day I was down, I just get back from vacation, right? So I'm down the beach, and let me back it up. 2 weeks prior, I was down the beach, and I went to this place called Hooked Up Seafood, right?
I saw you post on that over the weekend.
This is exactly my point. This is going to be my point. So stay with me on this. So we went, and I had saw somebody else's post, right? And that made me go there. 17 years they've been open. All my years in going down the beach, didn't know anything about it. So we stopped in, and I love this grouper sandwich that I get down in Aruba. It's one of the best fish sandwiches. It's the first thing when I land. I go every year, I go get this grouper sandwich, right? And I struggle to find any kind of a decent fish sandwich anywhere that I like, or that, is fresh or good, whatever, right? So, especially at the shore, which is ironic. You think you can get great seafood at the shore, it absolutely sucks, right? But I heard that this was good. So we made a beeline to go there this one day, and we got the fried flounder sandwich. It was me and Jen. We were just going to split it, right? Just try it out, see what it was like. It was fucking slamming. It was banging. It was really good. But the staff was so nice. They recognized me, so they come out and they're like, "Can I ask you a question? Are you the Bar Avalon guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and this and that. And so they're all like kind of excited about it, and they're like, "Yeah, we follow your videos," and and I was like, "Oh, it was very nice. It was very sweet, very nice." So we really enjoyed everything, yada yada. And I said, "Oh, I'll have to come back and do a video sometime, right?" Just arbitrary conversation, right? So we now fast forward 2 weeks. And we're down there again, and we're on the beach. On the beach, right? Now, you can't drive to this place quickly. It's out on the Rio Grande, right? So we're on the beach, and we're sitting there, and Jen's like, "I really want one of those fish sandwiches." And I'm like, "Okay." Now we have to get in the golf cart, drive back to the house, get in the car, and drive there.
Okay.
Right? So it's not like, this is not
like
like
golf cart
running right up the street and getting a hoagie.
Not like,
right? Today's podcast is brought to you by my personal line of sauces, oils, and other accoutrements, Kitsch. Our sauces are all natural, jarred, and ready to go with wonderful recipes. Visit kitschsauce.com. Use promo code JBL Bites and get $5 off your first delivery. You will not be disappointed. So, all right, fine. So we go. Now, I am kind of disheveled from the beach. Probably didn't even smell that great. And I'm like, well, let's go. So we get there, and everything's a chalkboard, right? So this place, they go out on a boat, right? They catch. It's a catch and cook kind of place, whatever they get for the day, right? So they go out that day, whatever they have on the board, or prior to, the day before, whatever they have. They had John Dory, and they had some fish tacos and the fish sandwich. Now, I love a good fish taco, but you can't get a good fish taco. I couldn't even tell you the last time I got a good fish taco anywhere. And I said, that sandwich was that good. I'm gonna try it again, right? Yeah. So I just got the flounder fish taco, and Jen ordered her sandwich that she wanted. So all you do is basically you order, you pay, you sit down. It's very casual, and so we're sitting there, and the owner comes over, one of the owners, the sisters, and super sweet, and she's like, "Hey, would you mind if I sent you out the John Dory, if I replaced the John Dory on your tacos? I really think you would enjoy it." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem." Mom said, "No, I love John Dory." So to me, I call it the New Jersey Dover Sole. It's very, legit. Really good, right? And it's not easy to get anymore. Right. For whatever reason, I don't know if there's just not enough of it, or it's eaten up by the exact same people all the time, or whatever. So long story short, they have that. They then send me out. She's cleaning a tuna, cuts the belly, sends it in, sends that out to me. Now that can't be on the menu because there's not enough.
Yeah.
Belt, right? So that's like a rare treat. So they're just very, very nice. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a video. Right now, I'm not a food influencer guy. I do them here and there.
Right.
If I like something, I'll post about it.
Right.
But I don't get paid for it. I don't get free food. I don't get, I just do it. And so I did the video for them at 50,000 views in 24 hours. I mean, I know that they picked up at least a couple hundred followers. I picked up, like 500-600 followers. And so it did really well. The point of my story is it started making me think of what we had to do years ago. Probably you had to do back when you had a restaurant before social media. So it's like this instant fucking push. I'm posting this for them and they're, boom, all these
instant
people,
awareness.
Instant awareness, right? And then reciprocated because now people are seeing my page as well because they have such a good following. They have such a loyal following. Their people are then looking at my page. So it's a win-win, right? And it's instant. So it made me start thinking of the Philadelphia food critic, Craig LaBan, right? And so I'm going back now almost probably 23 years, right? And I would say that this is probably the one table that could have changed my whole path, right? Because now you have Yelp and this and that. Somebody could post a bad review and 5 people post a good review and whatever. There wasn't any of that then.
Right.
It was what your local critic or magazine said. So, kind of every metropolitan city had one big critic. They had kind of an underling critic for the second paper. Right. Then they had a couple magazines, and that was it. Yeah. They were your shots opening up.
But Craig LaBan, certainly back then, and even to this day, and maybe more so back then, could make or break a restaurant.
Yeah, and he's still probably. I mean, he's still very, very.
He's very influential.
It's different though.
Right.
What he has now is different.
He's the softer, kinder, gentler.
I'm so far removed from it all now. I don't know if he still does a regular food review or not or whatnot. So I don't really care for what I say. I don't want to give too much away on the poor guy here, but
so he came or
have him come putting the hammer on me.
Right.
So I'm a young restaurant owner, and I brought some people in to kind of help me with training the staff. Do you remember she passed away now, Katie Loeb?
Yeah.
So great person, right?
Yeah.
And so I had brought her in to help train my staff and teach me. I didn't know.
Right, yeah, you don't know the front of the house at all. You know the back of the house.
I'm doing high-end, food. I had no idea what was going on. So I had, chefs in the kitchen that presumably they didn't. They sucked, but they were running the kitchen. Right. And then she was still in the front. And she introduced me to this lady for PR. And I interviewed her and then a couple others. And then I really like this lady. I thought was really nice, and we worked together for quite some time. And at that time, she was getting me on the news and the TV shows and the local cooking things, and and she was going.
Those were all the avenues that were available.
Yeah, and she had credibility, right? So she's sending my stuff to Craig LaBan. Now, I had a chef that had somewhat of a name, had been reviewed before, but had some issues, restaurant issues, as we like to say, back in the day, that, were kind of make this a little bit of a slippery slope. Uh-huh. But he had enough of a name to kind of...
To attract Craig LaBan to come out.
Yes. So now it's sent out. We're opening up for lunch. Now, back then, you had no idea. But we had some tools, right? We had a couple photographs, presumably, and they weren't even great photographs.
Right, yeah.
I remember the one with them, like he was like kind of like peeking around a door thing, and it was like they were really shitty photographs. Yeah. I don't even know to this day if they were the actual photographs. To be honest with you, it just maybe someone who knew them. I don't know. Right. It was such a fucking thing, but it's very funny, and we would all of us restaurant owners. And so I hope he doesn't get upset about this, but I think I'm sure he's well aware.
Yeah, come on.
I'm actually going to send him this podcast before I post it. But I'm sure he's well aware. Like everybody had it hanging in the kitchen. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right? This is the guy you want to look
on the
for,
door,
right?
on the door, in and out of the kitchen.
This is the guy you want to look for. So it was, he's coming in, right? He's not going to use his name. Okay. Then we had a list of aliases that he potentially used that when he did a reserve, and I'm like, well, it's just fucking use another one somewhere else. And then his MO. So MO is if you're over for lunch, he's going to come in for lunch, right? Then he's going to come in for dinner 2 to 3 times with 4 people. He's going to order 4 different entrees, right? Those entrees are then going to be passed around, right? So we had all this stuff. These were all the, I hammer my staff. You need to look for this. This guy comes in, blah, 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 this and that, like all this shit, right? And at the end of the day, when all was said and done, it's probably just better you don't fucking know, right? More mistakes are made when you know something than to not know it, right? So, and we had just talked about the TV shows with the Michelin star, like, they make 3 plates and send it out as and I did hear that some people did that. They would make multiple ones and send it out when they knew that he was in. But again, I think it was all bullshit. It was, it's whatever. It was, the guy's just a guy. You know what I mean? He knows what he knows. He likes what he likes. He comes out, make him your food, do your thing, and that's it. That was kind of my attitude with it. But I had everybody really on edge about it. So the one day, he comes in, presumably, right? Now, I'm financially struggling, right? I need this review. I need him to come in and do this review because that's what's going to push all the asses in my seats, right? Because this guy's review comes out once a week. This is the only way that people know, right? He's going to do this review, and then I'm going to be over the top fucking busy if he likes it. So I'm open for lunch now. I have this chef who's half hungover all the time, right? But again, to me, this is the norm. My kitchen's a fucking mess, right? At the end of the night, there's shit all over the floor. Like, to me, this is the norm because I don't know any better, right? Which is going to be my point to this whole this whole long story. So now he comes in, the chef doesn't show up, right? Now I'm supposed to be the waiter because I don't want to pay somebody to be in the front of the house on the floor, right, for lunch that we don't do anything for. We just opened up for, right? So he comes in. Now, I'm pretty sure it's him. I don't know for sure, but I'm like, I think it's him. And he's coming in for lunch. I don't have anybody in the kitchen. I have to fucking take his order. And then I have to go in the kitchen, and I know limited stuff, and cook his food. So
it's a little nerve-wracking.
Beyond nerve-wracking. I mean, I like, what the fuck? And I wish I could, I should have pulled out the review to look at what he had. He had like a salad and maybe let's say calamari or something. It wasn't anything that was like the menu wasn't super difficult for lunch. Right. So I was able to pull it off and do it. And then we did then confirm that it was him because he had come in again later for the dinners. And the review came out and, it was favorable. I think that we were outside the city in the suburbs, and I think that he was very kind and he wasn't as harsh on us. And I think that he interviewed me and had a little bit of a soft spot for the husband-wife team, just kind of figuring it out.
Right.
And he didn't want to destroy my business. So I think his review was a little kinder than maybe if I was in the city or I was a little more
established,
well known. And maybe not. Maybe I got it on merit, but I believe that there was some latitude there. So we got is a bell system, a 1 to 4 bell. I got 2 bells. For
2 bells was pretty acceptable.
Yeah, no, it was great. I was very ecstatic, and I made us busy, and and so on and so forth. But it was like kind of made me laugh with regards to how fast this goes out. This kind of goes out, and then back then it was one shot.
Right.
Like that table could have made or broken everything. Like that was
Yeah, that was it.
That was the power of the reviews. And I mean, there were some people that had bad reviews and they survived it. I'm not saying that he had the power to shut everybody down, but he certainly had the power to make it very difficult to survive.
Yeah, I was going to say there are a
And
couple
so-
of Nobel restaurants that did not last long after they
Yeah.
received Nobels.
Yeah, but then again, did they not survive because...
Well, it probably didn't survive because most of what he said was right.
Right, exactly. So you know what I mean. There wasn't a lot of accountability. Then
Yeah.
it really comes down to accountability for what you did. And then subsequently, I got to the review me later a second time, which was a rarity
Right.
for him to review the same restaurant, same name, and he did a whole thing where it was like from
Oh yeah, go back.
mentor to chef to running
Right.
the restaurant. And that review actually was very, very, that was a really nice review. He gave me a great review on that. Still 2 bells, but red,
Different.
very nice. And we've back and forth. I mean, at the time it was like forums and things like that where, there wasn't social media. So, but, he would post something in forum, I would post something in forum, and we'd go, back and forth. We kind of had a nice banter.
Exchange,
a
yeah.
nice banter back and forth. What did I say that you said? And I said that point was good. I'm going to,
But at this point now, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause that was like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't even remember the point. I don't really remember the point of this fucking podcast, other than it's a great fucking, it's a great story. Do you remember over there, camera guy, what we were talking about? God, what is
We just broke the fourth. You just broke the fourth wall.
What was the fourth wall?
The fourth wall is like you pretend that the camera guys aren't even really there.
All right, well, there's no point to this podcast other than a really good local
Did we just
story.
make a Seinfeld episode by accident?
I think so. I don't even know. God, what the hell are we talking about?
That's our reference.
No, the point of what I was trying to say is how important the social media is and how much the social media has changed where restaurants have the ability to put themselves out there so quickly, but they also have the ability to adapt and change so quickly. Whereas before, we didn't have all those tools.
Right.
Like it was very, very difficult to survive. So if you're young and getting into this business, although I believe social media is starting to come to its end, I think that a lot of it is driven by people and their doom scrolling and their attention span when they go to do something else.
Sure.
And I think that you're going to have more AI agents and things that are going to kind of control that for you. So I'm curious to see where the next phase of this goes. I think a lot of it's going to start going into glasses and whatnot. But if you're in the game now, social media has to really be part of your kind of business model starting out, because it's the fastest injection of people and getting your information out there. Bigger than email blasts, bigger than, now we have all of it, and we
have to use all of it.
Have to use all of it. But I think social media is just the fastest, biggest way, and it is such a game changer versus what we had to go through years ago.
I would have loved it if you would have said, and in Craig LaBan's review, he said that the first lunch was his best meal. That would have been like the ego blow up for the
I don't
day.
think I got that out of it, but it definitely shows. I guess the more the point of the story, more than the social media, more than all of it, but it also shows the pressures that you're going to face all the time. I mean, that was an incredible pressure-driven situation. That was not having the chef come in. It's incredible pressure. Now this guy's here. What do you do?
Yep.
And you can't fold. Folding is not an option.
Right.
So you got to have those flexibilities, And more importantly, you got to know. And I learned this better later from another chef. Like, you need to know how to do everything in the business.
Yes.
You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have
Got to know how to do it all.
You don't have to be super proficient, and that's your career. Yeah. But you need to never allow your employees to have you by the balls.
Right.
And that's really important.
That's a big piece of it.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me in
And the
this
preparation in
this
case something goes
situation.
wrong like it
Oh,
did.
my God. 3 episodes, too much wine. I finally made it all the way back to what the fuck the point of this was.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. You really did a good job. Way to co-host me there, buddy.
We've had
This was a
we've had
really
hell of a
fucked up,
day.
weird podcast. Note to self, not to do 3 episodes in a row. That's too much drinking. Cheers.
Cheers. And just remember,
so hot I can't even concentrate. That's what it is. It's not. It's not hard all the time.
It's this is.
It's
this
only
is an
hard some of the
episode-
time when you're
That's
55
right.
years old.
The hardest time isn't this time.
It's
every
all the time.
Like, follow, subscribe. We're out. Fuck.
God damn, it's hot.